a 10 minutes of Q&A. Anytime you are ready.
Right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today, my team, Ardent Solution, will be presenting on Moa beer case, and we will be providing insights from our studies and research. So first, we'll look at our objective. So the objective is to increase Moa brand recognition and sales volume in the United States. So in order to look at this, we'll first look at their current situation. So from what we know, Moa's brand is recognized as a super premium, and they have distributed about close to 50,000 cases of product across all its markets in 2012. It has also export products over 9 markets, with the highest distribution in United States and Australia. All 12 products are also multiple award-winning beers. So this is because it's driven by 3 key success factors. So the first one is beer brewing expertise. And from this, they are able to produce superior brewing techniques that produce beers with softer fizz, and at the same time allows them to have longer shelf life than its competitors. Second is investment in beer production PPE. So they invested heavily in larger brewery facilities, tanks, and high-speed bottle filling machine. This allows them to have a capacity of up to 80,000 cases per month. Most importantly, they have premium quality ingredients, which are sourced from New Zealand. And these ingredients are grown from Marlborough mineral-rich soil. So next, we look at their target. So visualizing the 5-year plans, they have 2 goals to achieve in these 5 years. So currently, their profit is 572,000 USD. And we aim to, in 5 years' time, have a 15% revenue growth rate per year. At the same time, their current market share is 0.02% in the craft beer market. So 5 years' time, we aim to hit 0.1% in craft beer market. So the key question is, how should Moa position its product in the US in order to increase sales volume and therefore achieve the goal of increasing revenue and market share?
So now we will take a look at the industrial landscape. So firstly, there is an opportunity. Beer consumption in the United States has fallen. As we can see that the United States beer market has shrunk by 1.1% in 2010, as well as forecasted to continue decreasing at 8.96% CAGR over the next few years. However, the overall beer market in the United States has continued to grow at 0.8% CAGR. At the same time, craft beer sales have been increasing, which is that craft brewers have reported a dollar sales of 14% in the first half of 2012, as well as an increase in 12% of volume of craft beers sold during this period. This provides an implication, which is that US consumers are shifting their preference away from beer and towards craft beer, making it an opportunity that Moa Brewery should tap into. The second issue is the fact that there is low brand awareness of Moa beer. US consumers are not aware of Moa's brand of beer, seeing that in 2011, Moa beer has less than 0.001% of market share, as well as although it's projected to increase to 0.02% in 2013, it is still dwarfed by their competitors, as you can see from the pie chart here. Next, Moa is not promoted entirely across the US. Like, it is only located in 240 stores across North America, but only available in 31 states. As well as for the Yard House, although if they pass their trial, they will be located across 40 states. The fact that the Yard House also provides 250 different craft beer mixes makes it difficult for Moa beer to stand out and be able to market themselves properly. This also provides an implication that in order to increase sales and market share, Moa has to increase their marketing efforts in order to promote their brand stronger and improve brand awareness. So this is the executive summary, in which the key issues from these two the key questions that we have to answer for these 2 issues is how can we maximize the opportunity arising from changing consumer preferences, as well as how can we raise Moa's brand awareness. Now I'll pass the time to Zheng Ying, who will be talking about our first recommendation.
Okay, Chairman. So to maximize the opportunity arising from changing consumer preferences, our first strategy is to actually introduce craft beer fusion. And this is to actually tap on the growing demand for craft beer. So currently, the craft beer market is actually growing, with the sales volume increasing by 12% in 2012, and there's little saturation in this market compared to other beer markets, which are dominated by key players like ABI. So our proposed plan is to introduce a New Zealand and US flavoured fusion craft beer so that MOA can both target and appeal to the US customers while retaining its own New Zealand flavors. And this actually taps on MOA's key competencies, whereby MOA is actually an expertise in craft beer brewing, and they also have access to premium quality ingredients from New Zealand, and there's also the leverage on Marlboro's branding. And furthermore, this is coupled with the recent investment in beer production, increase in beer production. And so here's a question about what kind of flavors should MOA actually introduce? So currently, MOA's craft beer selection, they only have 4 craft beer selections. Meanwhile, the US highest sales growth in terms of the types of craft beer is actually herb and spices. So the problem lies in whereby MOA's craft beer selection, they are mostly fruity beers, whereas for the highest sales growth is actually herbs and spices. So in order for MOA to actually successfully venture into the US craft beer market, MOA needs to introduce more herb or spice flavored craft beers to meet the preferences of the customers. Next, I'll pass on to Jie to talk about the second strategy.
Thanks, Jenny. Now I move on to the second strategy, which is target marketing. So, given that MOA is still new to the US competitive alcohol beverage market, so the rationale behind target marketing is to further utilize their existing resources to create a greater impact in the market. So the team proposed to leverage on MOA's superior and special brewing technique and taste to acquire to a sophisticated customer base. Therefore, the following proposed action includes reallocating resources to the target states, emphasizing on the unique niche of craft beer, and also creating an emotional connection with the customers. So we have reviewed the current distribution channels and our main partners in the entire US, which are Whole Foods Market and Yacht House restaurants. And based on reliable sources, there are 10 states being identified as the states drinking the most beer, as well as having the least restriction in terms of selling beer. Therefore, while remaining existing distribution strategy in other states, we are going to direct most of substantial marketing effort to the states that where most of our customers are. As a newcomer, the objective for the very first step is to gain exposure as much as they can at a very reasonable cost. So, firstly, MOA Beer can consider joining local beer festivals in order to gain exposure, because these local festivals could potentially attract a large number of beer drinkers who could potentially also be our customers. Moving on in the future, MOA also can consider hosting beer festivals or sponsoring music festivals. These could potentially deliver a more holistic and comprehensive experience to the party goers which are related to MOA. Next, in order to educate potential customers about the differentiators of MOA, we are going to leverage on the existing channel existing channel partners, which are restaurants and markets, to further target on the sophisticated customer base that our channel partners attract. So one of the ways to organize craft beer workshops, talks in conjunction with movie screening, food tasting with our current channel partners. And the key point being delivered is to educate our potential customers the differences between commercialized beer and craft beer, and also to emphasize the key differentiating ingredients of MOA beer. This is because MOA is still a very small player in the market, so concentrating our effort is the key to develop meaningful relationship in the market and with the customer. And experienced beer drinker, we actually appreciate the effort that the brand put into to develop meaningful relationship with them. Next will be acquisition and retention. So the team proposed to provide incentive to attract and retain the customers. So one of the ways to do it is to work with existing channels to develop experience-driven loyalty program. The reason behind it is because consumers' preferences in the beer market might keep changing, and there's strong competition in the industry. Therefore, an experience-driven loyalty program could help to reinforce a brand image in the consumer's mind. So we're introducing MOA X Yacht House loyalty program. So, for example, there will be a MOA's night specially hosted to cater to exclusive members. to introduce the new beer. So they have the exclusive right to taste the newly introduced beer, like even before the beer is introduced to the mass consumers. And also the special discounts could be provided, especially on Moa nights itself, or only cater to the members. Next, and we could also introduce limited edition marks every season. This and only for members. So members could actually purchase the merchandise and for collection. So it further reinforce the brand image of Moa in consumers' mind. And also we could introduce referral program as well. So certain rebates or discount could be earned by the members when they successfully invite a new member on board. So loyalty program will assist to create a sense of belonging for customers and increase customer retention rate. And also a large and long-lasting customer base could be acquired through a referral program. And the impact for this proposed strategy will drive recurring purchase in the targeted states, and potential consumer loyalty could be earned. Next, I'll pass on to
Yeah, so our team came up with 2 risks and mitigation to actually rectify the problem. So the first strategy, first risk is that more brewers may not be accustomed to actually brewing the beers that are not traditionally their forte. And for the second strategy, the existing customer base in other states might be neglected. So how can we solve this? So for the first strategy, we can hire a brewer specializing in herbs, spice, flavored craft beer to actually train the other brewers. And for the second strategy, we can have the loyalty programs that are to deploy into the partners in other states and to engage these customers. And for our financials, we estimated that there will be a 15% CAGR, and there are like several assumptions to this. So like the first one is 60% COGS, and that is based on historical growth. And then there will also be a 5% growth in the distribution. That is because of how we position our marketing strategy towards certain other states. There will be a 30% decrease in 2014 due to completion of IPO, so the administration fee will not be so expensive, and then thereafter you will have a relatively constant growth. For the administration, for the sales and marketing costs, it will be 100% increase in 2014. That's because of our strategy too, of how we try to put in more effort in certain states. And then 15% increase thereafter. Yeah. And for the finance, there will be a 6% increase, and that is also based on historical value. Yeah. And that concludes the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Alright. Then we'll start with 10 minutes of Q&A.
Can we go to the targeted marketing slide? I can't see the slide. Yeah. Okay. Next, education one. Education and the okay, the loyalty program. Sorry, loyalty program. Right. Okay, so mentioned that this loyalty program, there are 2 questions to this idea. Interesting idea, but first of all, how replicable is this loyalty program for your competitors in the US? That's the first question. And then the second question is, how do you measure? I think the impact for this one is about recurring revenue, right? This whole recommendation. So how do you measure recurring revenue from the revenue breakdown that you've given at the end in your financials?
Okay, thanks for the question. So the first question was about how replicable can this strategy in this, right? So US is a pretty large market, and there are like hundreds of thousands of competitors out there. So what Moa can do is really position themselves as very unique and craft beer, and also emphasize on their key differentiating ingredients to attract very loyal and niche market. So because eventually there are so many competitors out there, and like every season, like every year, like there'll be a lot of new tastes or new beers coming out in the market. So so the key thing about this strategy is really to educate them and try as much as we can to retain the customer base. So they'll stay loyal to the brand, but not the taste, which might change every season, every year. And then the second question, recurring revenue for referral program or what?
It's for this entire
For
recommendation.
how do we measure the revenue? Okay, because loyalty program eventually is about repurchasing. Because you want your customers to stay loyal to your brand, and then you want your customers to keep purchasing, to keep penetrating your brand. So because when the customers join the loyalty program, there will be certain information that we collected from them, and also when like upon purchase, the transaction will be recorded as well because they are the membership holder. So that's where we can measure the changes of the brand.
I feel that you're thinking too small. Like in terms of this referral program in their house, that's only going to be reaching out to your existing, the existing accessible pool of customers. Whereas you say you have 0.001% market share now, and your project is going to become 0.1, so that's at least a 100% increase, right? So do you feel that this is how going to come from this their house loyalty program?
I believe that it's actually because Zero is a very new company, so the 0.01% is because people still are not aware of the brand itself. So we believe that by targeting area where there's a culture of having a strong drinking beer, higher drinking consumption, and then you promote Moa's brand, right? They will be able to know more about this brand, and that is what we are aiming to actually increase the market share.
I understand that there's a can you go to slide 5? So for slide, just press 5 and okay, 5 and yeah. Okay, slide 5. So tell me, you say that your goal is to grow 15% revenue, is it?
Yes.
Where do you get this goal? Is that what you feel for us, or is that a target which one of my colleagues has expressed to you? Is 15% your target for us, or something that we express to you?
15% is our target.
Okay, because currently we've been growing at 37. Our sales volume has been growing at 37 and 88%. We plan to grow at 97 and 100%. So if my revenue growth is going to be 15%, are you underselling me significantly?
Because when we observe the financial statement that was provided, the increase in the actual growth in sales is not as it does not provide enough, as in the expectations of increasing of 97% to 100% based on the historical value that we have gathered from the financial statements is not achievable. We believe that the expectation is too high, especially since the cost of maintaining the business is increasing at a very to pull out numbers, it was sorry. Yeah. As you can see from the cost of sales, they have been increasing at around the same rate of how our increase in revenue is. And so, if we, but we believe that that we have to expect the 97% to 100% increase as the cost increase is unrealistic, and that's why we produce a more conservative target of 15%.
So how much is organic, how much is inorganic?
So, I mean, you've come up with two strategies. One is to increase in terms of distribution channels. One is to, come up with more flavors. Because R&D is going to be a key cost component if you're going to come up with more flavors. I'm asking if it's worth it. If I'm going to naturally already grow at 15% or more due to my, inorganic growth rate, why do I want to risk something else to just get 15% back? Digest.
Okay, yeah.
If you don't understand, we can clarify the question.
Okay.
But how are we going to do the order? Us? Yeah. Okay. What? Does anyone want to have an answer? Help guys. Thank you. Shall we ask the next question then? It's okay. You can just take that into consideration.
No, it's... Yeah, we can clarify the why,
Why and
yeah, with this number.
as in,
It's a bit out of context.
because we are supposed to, as in, okay, out of context answer. We are supposed to do this stage with the perception that we are in 2013. Yeah, but the projected growth rates are way higher than the actual financial statement that we have dug out for
So how do you
2014.
manage the judges' expectations like that? How do you manage the fans' expectations?
Yeah, that's why in the
Then
context of 2013.
it's quite difficult topics.
Yeah.
Very beginning. Secondly, right? So at least if I don't believe in one of them, I can fully embrace the other. Right now you're giving me an all or nothing. Either you like me or you don't like me.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Alright, if not, I have a very quick question. So, from what I understand, now more is loss making, right? And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's because we are not producing at enough scale. I'm curious how your two recommendations, because the first one is basically creating one new flavor, right? The second one is targeted marketing. So like Hanshen said, expanding our existing pool. So I'm curious how that generates enough sales for us to become profitable. Can you maybe walk me through how that happens?
It's more like I think they really have the facilities to produce like sufficient amount of bottles of beers lah. So basically, the recommendation is to actually form a stronger customer base, and with this customer base, maybe in the future can implement more other initiatives that actually can increase revenue. But currently, these strategies, right, we can actually like sort of the advertising is just to like gain more customer, and with more customer buying our product, that will help to increase sales as well. Yeah, and then we were hoping like there will be more word of mouth, because like we have like a lot of festivals, a lot of very hype things that actually can if it's like successful, people go around and promote it for us.
So our current plant capacity is 14K, right? And we are trying to raise it to 80K. So with your two strategies, I guess my question is, with your two strategies, that will bring our utilization to like what, 80K?
That is the assumption, yes. As in, after the production increases, and because we have high shelf life, and then through our two recommendations of targeted marketing, especially for so while joining beer festivals, we can increase the we are going to utilize our increase in production and through all these festivals to promote our products and hence manage to achieve our targets of customer acquisition.
Any last questions? Question? No, you're not. Alright, can we thank the team? Kenapa go ahead? Alright, go ahead. John. You understand my question? You understand my question? You understand